I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is October 16, Monday 2023. So we had this bullish candle. Support did hold as yesterday. This previous week's gap, so not this past week, but the week before that, that week gap held as support. This fib here also held as well, and we were basically sitting at a 50 level after hitting the 61. And then this price action here obviously didn't come down lower. If you watch the video, actually let me push pause and show you that. Give me a second. All right, so you'll see here on Friday. So watch previous videos so this makes sense always. I said as option 2, I said that we would just buy literally right up and then come to here, somewhere up here. We have that gap that I had this on my chart for weeks. And I knew that that was a nice area. Right above that is a 61 here. And then as you see here, we just go straight up, take out that liquidity, and then finally seal that imbalance. Remember, we've been tapping that imbalance for how many days here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight, right? But noticing not taking out that the rest of this imbalance to seal the price. And then I like that gap right there. And sure enough, we did that. So, pretty beautiful day, actually. Not too difficult, but yeah, you can see, look at the bodies of the candles. That's going to help you out as well. All these wicks are designed to confuse you as well. But if you look at the bodies, and the bodies will pretty much tell you the story here. And we end up shooting straight for it, taking out the previous day's high, which obviously would be Friday, and then the previous week's high, which would be, that was on Thursday the 12th. And then I have this little box here just to show you that, you know, that space has not been sealed yet, and then obviously you can't miss the gap. Look how we tap it, and then we come back once we break above, and this is still that low, that July 10th low right there, right? And then we go above and we come back into this weekly imbalance, and then we do settle after tapping the high. So I'm still expecting some higher prices. I mean, even though we are bearish, I knew that they would still. That's why I got this fib here, right? Because you know this is a big leg, right? And you know we're retracing back. You know, we're taking out sellers, right? So this is where we are. I mean, this is a good place to sell, all right, but it doesn't mean it has to. But I would have liked to have seen a bigger reaction than this, but we still have news all this week. I'm feeling that they're going to try to slowly push it up. And then, yeah, man, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And because up here, if you look on the, well, I'll get into that in a second. Let me just go through this. I need to make this video short. So we gap up here, and as you look here, oh, I didn't, did I? Yeah, let me put the fib, because this was also a key thing real quick here. So yes, you have this range from inside, you have this range here and then shooting up, but this is also a range in itself. So retracing back, you notice that, okay, when we closed Friday, we took out that liquidity. We're still sitting at a 79. We're still here. And then the actual gap itself in gray is holding as support, right? So I'm just going to put that there just so you can get the idea of why we're still coming up. And number two, if this fib here is holding, then we're obviously wanting to take out that high, right? So even if I was to put a projection here, and you'll see that, I mean, this is potential. I don't marry the idea of the negative 27 and 61 of projections here. But this does come right up underneath that low of the month of August. So, which is here, this line I'm going to drag it out even more here. All right. Again, I'm not married to these ideas, but at the same time, on the monthly chart, look, there's a space in the gap right there, right? And we're not far from it. So I would like for them to just get that over with and pop up into here. And then look on this 4 hours overbought area. This was suspect as well. I was mentioning that last week, and then sure enough, we're coming up. So this is again a lower high, but we made a higher high. So hey, anything's possible here. But cleaning up this area here, this made sense. So at the least, but again, it's anyone's ball game. But the historical data shows that we're bullish. Even though we'd like to be bearish, it's still bullish. I mean, if you look on the weekly, this is I have this fib, and I don't put fibs on the weekly, but just to show you, we came to a 79 here, right? And then we got so far it looks bullish to me. So if you're asking me what am I bearish or bullish? Well, I'm bullish for the short term. Let's put it that way, right? But hey, they might upset a lot of people up here selling. So and then they might use some big event. I mean, because to be honest with you, for all the news that just been happening these past weeks, right? With what, we should have way more bearish pricing. Because just like if you relate that to for February 24th when we had Ukraine and we had Russia, right? If you were trading and you were live, you remember that it was sinking for like 12 hours straight, right? But that was an excuse they were using to try to. I mean, I look at it that way, but they were trying to get the price down more, and we still had bullish activity after that news event. But for us to not get anything, I think that's really suspect, and that's a long story I can't get into here. But anyways, let me go back into this. So we gap up, and we never come and seal that gap, which is interesting. But maybe that's a future time that we'll visit this week later. Who knows? Right now, the Monday is the low of the week, but we could come back down first to get into here and then go up back bullish. Let me just go back into it. I'm bouncing around everywhere, but just to keep this simple here, as you understand where we are here, and I changed this color, by the way, into red instead of light blue or blue, because, and I used to do it that way, like many videos ago, like last year even, I think. I just stopped doing it, but I'm gonna bring it back. So if it's bearish, I want to keep these imbalances on the red side. I know why I did it is because when I was teaching, I had the red area on this RR tool, right? So because it's red too and it matches the same, and it's like, what, whatever, man, I don't care. I'm just gonna go back to keeping this red. If it's bearish, and bullish if it's blue, right? Anyways, so that being said, and then I'll change this color. If it's an inversion, then I'll change it to what I usually do, which is an orange or whatever. Fuck. But anyways, so look, we had 8:30 news here, and then so we open up constantly higher lows. All right, so we're waking up to this, and I'm just like, yo, this is obviously rushing for what? Liquidity above here with that imbalance. I mean, it's very, 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 very obvious that this is happening, right? So, for me, right? So we leave this old weekly imbalance, and then we're just higher lows, higher. Look at the order flow. Order flow will pretty much kind of tell you everything going on. And then you see here, 830 is right here. Yep. And then 830 shoots up, retraces back into that block. You could be in a buyer right there. Beautiful, beautiful pattern with an imbalance right there. See that? And you're at a support as well. So really nice trade right there. I was not ready. I was ready at 9:30. So and I wasn't planning on trading today either. But take a look here. You'll see that we shoot up. We go above that high, and then on the 15, it gave it away for me. So let me kind of zoom in for you on the 15. You'll like this. And you're going to be like, how did you notice that? Well, I mean, you got it. This is what you do, right? But look on the 15-minute. Let me blow this up real quick just so we can understand each other real quick. You see that here? So again, you have intentions with all this liquidity above. You got the weekly high sitting right there. Besides that Friday high, but the weekly high is super key also. But we like when you're waking up and you're here, I mean, there's no way you're not thinking bullish. You know, who's the people who made money last? Ask yourself that question. Well, we already wiped them out from buying. Okay, we wiped up people from selling. I'm not completely, but squeeze them out. Came back down to squeeze them out, and we took people out. All right, then when we wake up here, or just Sunday night, excuse me, Sunday night, where are we? Well, who's the people who made money last? Well, you could say here. That's fine. You can say people here, but it's not that serious because it's the close of the week. So, I mean, people settle their orders, blah, blah, blah. I mean, right here, people who are in orders, I mean, these people right here are very obvious of taking out, right? So that's the logic, but if you take a look on the 15-minute here, you'll see this little space. Look at this little space right here, this little imbalance right here. And then you have these 3 down candles. Look how beautiful this is. Don't make this harder than it should be. So when I'm here at 9:30, yes, it's a 5-minute chart, but when we're here and the 9:30 is slowly pushing up slowly and trying to get people in, if it's a bullish day for me, I always ask myself, where is the previous inefficiency on the 15-minute, right below, if we're buying? And right there, look at that little space right there, because below here, everything else is officially delivered here, except for to down here, which could we have came down here? Yeah, I guess so. But at the same time, you have these objectives here, and they've been dangling that carrot. So what they did is they pretty much they've engineered this liquidity. So when they come up here, they end up accomplishing 2 things: taking out the liquidity and delivering price and repricing, right? And then it's only balanced when it leaves. But this was very, very, I mean, here's the funny thing. The thing is when you get experience and you see this, you're just gonna be like, damn, I knew it. So it's like, you gotta trust. And what I'm trying to really say is trust your analysis. Like if I didn't trust my analysis here, I'd be all over the place. And the times that I miss out the most is when I don't trust my analysis. And you're just like, man, I fucking knew it was going there. You know what I mean? Right? So that's the difference between someone who has strong, and being in trading. You have to be, because your analysis is probably good. For me, I know mine is, so I have to trust it. And I would have missed out if I didn't trust it. So sure enough, the price shoots right into it, right in between there. Well, this is a 15-minute. That's right. You can see it on a 5-minute too, but I was really seeing this on the 15-minute, because you can get some imbalances on the 5-minute, and then there'd be so many. But on the 15-minute and the hour, actually, you could see this on the hour too. It was nice. Let me go to an hour. But before I do, you see it taps right in there with these blocks right here, and they're using this one specifically, right? Beautiful. And then and where's your target when you're taking this trade? Well, you got many options. You have that one. Okay, that's number 1, right? For me, technically. Number 2, that one. Number 3, the high of the actual imbalance itself that we've been waiting to seal. All right, and then after that would be that gap. Beautiful. Look how it comes right in there and taps and runs away. That's not a coincidence. Do you have this gap on your chart here? I doubt it. I doubt it. I really do. And then you're wondering why you're not, flowing, right? Or missing, or whatever. So let me go back to this. Is a 5-minute? Yeah. So, and the 5-minute, you can see that this is an imbalance here. All right. And then, and also that's liquidity there. But you got the imbalance there. We shoot down on the 5-minute, as far as this is a 5-minute goes, and it goes right inside. It doesn't seal it, doesn't have to. And we could visit this area too, by the way. But very clear that we bought from here. Everybody bought from here. And you got this support here. You got these down candles coming down, right? And I've got a break above, and then this imbalance, and so on. So, and plus, look at the confluence, right? We have also this bottom 25% level, right? So you're digging into that. You have all that, and we're bullish. We're trying to get to up here, Perfect. Now let me go to a 1 minute real quick so I can be done because I gotta go. Um, and the beautiful thing about this was that if you really had patience and waited today, you would have been much better. Because I on general days I'll be taking trades at 9:30 and or like a little bit pre 9:30 or whatever the case is. But here, this was a time that you wanted to sit back. It's the beginning of the week. It's the 9:30 open. You want to get all the suckers out the way. All the chaos out the way. Let it do what it wants to do. Let it show you. It's gonna move. It's gonna do something different, and you're gonna end up seeing a setup. Otherwise, if I had no patience here, and this happens around after 10 o'clock, right? If you had no patience here, then you're not gonna be able to catch stuff like this. But if you see the volume here was very weak to me, I was like, this is super suspect. The price does shoot down here at 9:30, comes right down and makes an equal low right there. See that? So this was also a buy area. It was a buy if you wanted to take this, but if you were married to this, you would have lost. And if you wanted it to take it up here, I'm mad at you because I also did attempt this. The price was shooting up, going up, right? And then I saw this candle, and then we saw this returning back into like this is. I'm only going to do it 1 minute because people don't want to see it below because they don't have seconds. But I'm going to tell you, I was able to see all this below a 1 minute. Okay, so if I went to a smaller time frame, like a 30-second or a 15-second, you'll see how easy this was to sell from here and come down. Or maybe not easy, but very suspect with the higher lows here. Look at that. Look at that. A little too obvious, right? So the price breaks down, right? And then retraces back up. And then shoots down one more leg, right? And gets into this area. But if you had just been waiting and letting the market range out for the first 30 minutes between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, then you'll be able to get an idea of what's going on. So this is the 950, and then the algorithm is starting to run backwards to wipe out liquidity and get into that inefficiency I mentioned, and then kind of get close to the people at 8:30, but obviously they didn't come low enough for the 8:30. But this is the only price that's inefficient here. If you look at this 1 minute chart, it's right there. You see how even on the 1 minute, they tap in right there. Look at that. 1 minute with this down candle. So this is also support here on this time frame. A lot of confluence here. Again, remember we have that 25% lower quadrant right there. So, and we're kind of sitting on that. So that being the case, again, smaller time frame, you would have saw this imbalance. You would have saw this as a sell. I'm going to show you. You know what? I'm going to show you anyway. Let's do it real quick. I gotta go. I'm supposed to go to the gym already, man. Right there, it taps in. You get this imbalance right there, and then it taps right in above it. Boom. That's a beautiful sell. Plus, oh shit. Plus that little candle. That's a resistance block right there. Price breaks below it, goes up, and taps it. See how it taps it? Right there at the open? Look at that. Same level. So these are the things that, and the beautiful sell. I didn't catch that though. But beautiful sell though. And then also confluence with the imbalance right there. But it's on a 15-second. You're not going to be able to catch that trade or realize what's going on if you don't have it or if you're not looking at it. 30-second, it would have only helped you if you saw it go back into that block and you understand the way that works, right? But yeah, man. But anyways, real quick here, and then so we shoot up. We do get into sealing the rest of this here, and not sure why this is not dragged out. All right, and then we all right. So those are the targets. Boom, comes right to that gap that I mentioned there. Sells off. The rest of the day, I don't really give a shit about it, but I do. This is a minimum target as well. Well, no, let me rephrase that. That's not the minimum target. This is the main target that I would have looked for in this sell here. After coming up and hitting that, you can see the order flow, right? You can see that up candle holds as the resistance candle, and then shoots up, goes into that wick. That's an entry right there. If you want a more confirmation, then you could have waited for it to break down one more time and then retrace right back up into that candle itself. This one right here. So shoots right back up, right at the open. That's the same entry level. Stop loss could be above there or above that high right there, because if it's going above there, then you're probably wrong. But anyways, where are you taking this sell? Well, we have, now that we're above this weekly imbalance for the first time here, now my first goal would be to come to the 50% level. So that would be my main target. I'm sorry. The first target, if you wanted to more look for a scalp, because you should technically be scalping anyways, especially what's going on. But this high right here of last week, that high, as you see to the right, look to the right as I'm doing this, look to the right, even though I'm doing this on the left, look to the right. That would be a minimum place to take this trade to, which would be here, right? Because that high can act as a support. Just saying. All right, but what would have been more important would have been to take out this liquidity sitting right there. If you took this sell, that would be a minimum target for me here. All right, number two, where would be the next place to take this sell to? Well, then it would be that high, because that could be the place where it's support. Because when we bust through, there's no efficient price coming back in to seal price. So that high right there, which is, you can almost see it with this level, but it's not the same level. You see how they're dancing around it, like they avoiding it. They retrace back up, just a fake move here. And then this is just a lower low and a lower, this is a lower low leg and a lower high leg to ultimately come down here for a lower low. But that would have been an area right here as it rushed for. As you see, it rushes for. But what's also most more important, forget the other levels, this liquidity, right? Because everyone tried to buy here, assuming that, you know, you're in this imbalance, you broke above. This is that support, the idea that I was just mentioning. That's why I would take it here as a minimum. But the main target for me would have been, I would have liked to have took it here, right? So come down, shoots right for it, avoids it. See that? Comes back in, just pops into here, and then with this imbalance, and then final shoots out. Shoots down, and then we pop all the way back up, and we settle here. So that being said, real quick, I need to go. But if you look at the cracks here, you'll see Dow. We had the cracks in Dow. Also, this was supporting those higher lows ideas. You had a crack here with a higher low on Dow, and then, you know, they had lower lows here. So with the intention of just taking liquidity out, we never did, but still going up is the main goal. And then right here, this was a big giveaway here between the 930 here and the 1005 here. So we had lower lows here, and they had nice higher lows. And that's the confluence of why I was saying to the icing on the cake to take this buy here, because it cracked right there. But all we were doing was coming down in here, right? But you got to be aware of these things going on, man. So this was, and this is the sealing the deal of why you're taking this buy for sure. So other than that, and then we had dollar. I was mentioning, I think last week, that we had this imbalance right here. Well, we came into the weekly imbalance there, and we bounced up from there. Obviously went below it, but that's fine. And then we had this imbalance on the daily here, and price. So the dollar decided to come down first instead of going up. So if it came up, then we would have been having that first option that I gave you, if you watched Friday's video, that of us coming down first and dollar going up. But nice, you know, did come right into it right here, and then now we're sitting here. So what does the dollar do? I mean, do they want to come up here that we've been talking about for a while? I don't know. Ever since last year, this level, these areas. But I don't know, man. We're gonna see. But I could see dollar coming down. I don't know. I really don't know, because there's a lot of potential here. Can we sell from here? Okay, let me just make this simple so I can go. If I was to give you the options here, where is this here? So as far as speaking, going up goes, for bullish, this could just go from here. To be honest, it could just go straight up, right? It really could. All right, and that's just that option right there. All right, option 2 for being bullish, we could come down into here and get into somewhere in here, possibly that last candle right there, or possibly hitting that weak gap right here, testing that one more time to then go up. Because we skipped to this weekly imbalance and that gap, and then now we're going to come back to that gap because they're going to bounce from that gap to back to this gap in order to wipe out the people who are buying. Ask yourself, who just made money? All the people who are just buying, right? Where's the support? Where's the down candles? Right here, right? So I like this. I do like this option. So that's for buying. As far as selling goes, I mean, as far as selling goes, it would just happen now. It would just sell from up here, literally, where we already tapped on there. I don't like that idea, though. To be honest with you, I just don't think we're not done. I just don't think we're done with the top side, man. So, so if that's the case, I could see if we're bearish, which just kind of looks like if we were bullish. You have two reasons why, you should be buying right there. So, all right. I hope this helps you guys. Take care. Till tomorrow. God bless.